The old arcade days. I have many fond memories of arcades from when I was a young mongoloid. One time my dad forgot me inside a claw machine and I was won as a prize by a short Honduran man. I had a few birthdays at a big arcade chain in my neck of the woods called Palladium. On my 69th birthday I was playing Power Stone against another child and I kept getting destroyed. I got so annoyed I pulled my pants down and sat on the joystick. I used to sneak around and smell the seats of the motorcycle games. Reminiscing on those times got me curious about some of the crazy arcade machines that didn't get widespread or international releases. We missed out on quite a few interesting and odd arcade curiosities over the years, so grab your joystick and tickle yourself on the inside. Today I'm talking about some bizarre arcade games.
Hello?
Can I put my finger in your ass?
Can I put a 38 in your ass, you son of a bitch?
Yeah.
Boon-ga is quite possibly one of the greatest games ever made. The goal of the game is to forcefully finger fuck the voluptuous pussy featured on the cabinet itself. The game is meant to recreate a supposedly popular children's prank in Korea and Japan called Concho, where the perpetrator of the prank sneaks up and fully inserts two fingers into the quivering anus of their target. My uncle and I had a similar game, but we called it Tickle the Pickle. The player wields a big plastic finger in which to perform the fucking. Rumor has it that people would remove the model of the human butt attached to the cabinet and insert themselves into its position. Some say those people are still in the cabinet to this day, waiting for a new player to come along and remove the cobwebs from their supple butthole with a novelty plastic finger. The game features various different concho targets, including ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, mother-in-law, and con artists. You can imagine getting back at the people that make your life miserable by traumatizing them for the rest of their life. All jokes aside, Boon-ga is an incredibly unique and weird video game concept, and one that's only really possible to implement in an arcade setting. Another thing we lost when arcades slowly started going out of business.
The shape goes into a shape press that presses the shape into a pressed shape.
Wonder Momo is a side-scrolling beat-em-up developed by Namco, released exclusively in Japan in 1987. You play as the titular Momo, who starts off as a regular skank, but can eventually transform into a powerful magical girl upon building up enough energy. The game is kind of a parody of TV shows with a similar premise, such as Ultraman, Super Sentai, and Golden Girls. At the beginning of every stage, you start out as a normal Momo, only able to attack with flimsy kicks. But after building up your Wonder Meter, a little tornado power-up will appear on screen, and upon touching it, you transform into the Wonder Momo, giving you access to a wider range of moves such as a stupid throwable hoop, energy blast, and a goatsy jump scare. The entire game is framed as a stage play, with a curtain acting as a stage transition, and you can even see the audience in the foreground. Another notable aspect of Wonder Momo is its relatively early depiction of fan service. Jumping shows off Momo's underwear as she falls, exposing her incredibly heavy labia to the audience. Audience members can occasionally try to sneak a peek to the promised land, which will result in Momo getting temporarily stunned from embarrassment. Unlike other arcade oddities, this game isn't lost forever. It has been ported several times over the years, with the PC Engine version appearing on the Wii Virtual Console, as well as appearing in various Namco arcade collections such as Arcade Archives and Namco Museum Encore. I think it's a perfect example of what the West was missing out on when it came to some of the cool arcade games that Japan was getting.
No, don't do it. I'm a virgin.
Gottlieb was an American arcade game manufacturer that is mostly known for its crazy amount of pinball machines. The only coin-op game they developed that really gained any traction was Q*bert, which is unfortunate because that means a lot of people aren't aware of Exterminator. Exterminator is kind of a first-person shooter of sorts, with the player taking control of a disembodied hand with the goal of clearing people's homes of a variety of pests, such as bugs, pop cans, and haunted toy tanks. This is done by finger blasting the flying ones or grabbing them out of the air when they're close enough, and you can squish the ground-based ones by slamming your fat hairy balls onto the pound button. Slam animation kind of reminds me of that robot arm that jerks people off.
Ce matin, c'est la 2. Attendez, parce qu'il y a mon aide-soignant qui est pas...
Every home is split into 5 rooms, with the floor divided into a grid. The tiles change color when an enemy is killed on top, and the object is to change the color of an entire vertical row. There's an ever-present wasp enemy that will attempt to sting your floating hand, reducing your health, referred to as Granny's Juice in this game. The surreal visuals of the game are really unique, and make it stick out like a poop-covered thumb. Exterminator may also be the first arcade game to feature digitized graphics, similar to what Mortal Kombat would eventually do with its character sprites. This visual feature ended up being kind of a pain in the ass for arcade owners, since the cabinet required a custom printed board that had a tendency to break down. I think a game like Exterminator would fit right in if it came out today as a smaller release. The surreal visuals and bite-sized quarter-muncher gameplay might have worked well as a mobile game, but at least we still have MAME to experience crazy arcade games like this in modern times. Calorie-kun vs. Moguranian is a 1986 maze-like arcade game developed by Vic Tokai, who also developed other weird games such as Clash and Demon Head. You take control of Calorie-kun, a drop of cum who is very hungry. You clear levels by eating every piece of fruit on the screen. There's a calorie meter at the bottom of the screen that you need to balance as you play. Take too long to eat stuff and Calorie-kun becomes emaciated, slowing his movement speed and eventually causing him to waste away to a little jizz stain on the ground. Eat too fast and he'll become overweight, something I know nothing about, and you can actually get stuck inside of tunnels, leaving you unable to move for a few seconds until the meter depletes. The main enemies of the game are these little moles who pursue you relentlessly like Nemesis. Cumstain can defend himself with a gust of wind, which costs some of your calorie meter, to push them away. Knocking them into walls causes them to be stunned for a few seconds, but if there's an explosive on their path, they'll explode, leaving their children orphaned forever. The game throws a few wrinkles at you as you reach higher levels, such as these stupid turtle things that can't be killed, only stunned, as well as mole tanks that are similar to the turtles but faster, and samurai pizza moles that launch themselves at calorie cum at high speed. You're also equipped with a small number of bombs that you can use to demolish weak walls for extra stuff, like a lucky cat statue that leads you to a bonus stage. I wouldn't personally put Calorie-kun on the same level as similar games like Dig Dug, but the calorie meter and quirky visuals definitely make it a unique experience.
Smoking dick and sucking dick, baby!
Uncle Pooh relaxed its anal sphincter into arcades in 1983, made by a company named Diatech, who, after releasing its magnum opus, decided to never make another video game again. As the Uncle Pooh, you must navigate a side-scrolling maze while a bunch of fetid sewer water pours in from the left side of the screen. You advance to further levels by collecting every piece of treasure on the current level, and if you miss any, the maze just repeats itself endlessly until you get everything. Various wildlife will attack Mr. Pooh during his travels for some reason, and his first and only line of defense is to shit his own pants and roller skate away. Actually, he's shooting his cabbage farts through the air, kind of like how South Park characters use their farts in The Stick of Truth. His potent cum farts are so vile it causes the innocent wildlife of planet Earth to keel over and die. You get the occasional bonus round between levels where you can score extra points by sniper farting all the enemies that rush you from all sides of the screen. It doesn't take long for stage elements to start repeating. There's next to no depth to this game, unless you count Uncle Pooh's colon. I personally love this game as a strange curiosity of its time, and the fact that the company behind it never developed another game after it is odd on its own. There's almost no reason to play Uncle Pooh today, unless maybe you have one of your friend's hot mom over and you really want to impress her. Those are some weird and stupid arcade games. If you like the video, pull the arcade stick out of your butt and throw it right at the subscribe button. Hopefully I see you all in the next video.